3650 squad. We square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce, 3650 squad. We square jobs, make a check gains. The secret sauce. Get out your ledger and pull the contract. Stake for 10 years. That's how we stack. See my post chain, see my Cadillac. This is the job. We don't know where it's at. 3650, 3650. Ooh, 3650, 3650. 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gain. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gain. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gain. The secret sauce, 3650 squad, we square jobs, make a check gain. The secret sauce.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. This is our live AMA, and that was our new intro, the 3650 Squad by Cool Sheets. Shout out to him. Again, we have some amazing community members, and he created that video last night. Make sure you go show him some love. Again, Cool Sheets with an S. Actually, I think it's Cool Sheet. Anyway, we'll post his link in the chat. So, alright, again, welcome everybody. This is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm AJ, I'm the team lead, and as usual, I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hey guys. Oh, I love that video.
Yeah.
What a way to start an AMA.
Exactly, yeah. Shout out to DeFi Proof who does our original intro, but I think this will be our new intro for a little bit. Again, showing some love to Cool Sheet, and maybe we'll have a collab with a brand new entire EMP ecosystem intro. But anyway, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, totally. So yeah, another really busy day. Again, I apologize for being a little bit late and a little bit flustered. It seems like we always have these bullish dev meetings and last minute updates like right before the AMA. We gotta work that out better. But I think we're on track. Today should be pretty straightforward. Lots of updates to go over. A little bit of a market rally. We'll talk about the L1X coins being released. And then obviously Sparkswap and the bridge. So before we get started, we're just going to talk a little bit about market sentiment and again a market update. We had an insane market rally about 24 hours ago. Now it seems like it's dying off again. I think that we're going to see a lot of volatility in the next few months. Again, and again, none of this is financial advice. This is all just my personal opinion. And seeing this will be my third bull market now that we're going into, being here in crypto for as long as I have. And we see all this volatility. Usually September is horrible, and then moving into next year with the halving. Again, I think everything revolves around the halving. For those that don't know, the halving is the event in which Bitcoin emissions have. So again, the amount of emissions that are happening now are cut in half, and that really, drives scarcity of Bitcoin, and the market usually follows. And we see a rally in Bitcoin, and then usually we see what's called alt season, and that will happen when Bitcoin peaks out and people take their profits and go into altcoins and smaller cap coins, and that's when we really see some insane exponential growth in a lot of projects in DeFi. So that is still in the works and on the table. Unfortunately, again, I think we have a whole nother year ahead of us. Usually we see that rally happen, in October and into 2025. But again, 2024 into 2025, will be, what I feel is the next top, and will be an amazing time for all of us. So that being said, again, we like to see these little rallies. I know, in how it relates to us specifically, even with EMP, because EMP is pegged with ETH, when we see a rally in ETH, it actually makes the peg go down. Again, unless there's equal buying pressure on EMP itself, when one of the assets goes up, compared to the other, it is a lagging indicator. So when ETH goes up and there's not equal buying pressure on EMP, it actually makes the peg go down, and vice versa. If ETH drops, it actually helps peg because again that ratio is maintained. But that being said, again, until we see $4,000 or $5,000 ETH, they're really, this is the accumulation phase. So again, none of that's financial advice. Even though we've seen it come down a bit, I don't think we're going to see too much lower. I think ultimate support is right around the 25,000 level for Bitcoin, and maybe 1,200 or 1,300 for ETH. But again, if I was a betting man, I'd say we're a lot closer to a bottom than we are, for the upside potential. So, just want to start on overall market sentiment. Pulse has been holding pretty well. Over the last few hours, we did see a dip on Pulse, which again, even though there's really not a lot of selling volume, or unusual selling volume, I should say, on Spark, when Pulse goes down, it does bring the price of Spark down with it, just because we have such a big LP pair. But vice versa, as soon as Pulse spikes, it will drag the price of Spark up with it as well. So just remember again, markets are going to be volatile, and it all depends on the different liquidity pairings. But overall, again, I think it's a good time to accumulate and build for the next bull cycle for sure. So, LA, anything you want to add to that?
Not really. I think you really hit it. I'm excited to see some upcycle. I mean, yesterday yesterday was pretty hot. But we're just gonna keep plugging along, doing our thing, and coming into the next bull, I think we're really putting ourselves in a good position considering how well we're already doing.
Yeah, no doubt. I could not agree. So we're just going to continue to build, continue to, plug along, accumulate, and, the real profit taking happens when we're hitting, new all-time highs. And we will get there for sure. All right, so we're going to move on to L1X, L1DEX news. Again, for those of you that are paying attention, you probably saw there were some great announcements, both from us and from L1X. But before I get into it, I just want to set a little bit of background and expectation here. We've said all along that, unfortunately, even though we have an amazing relationship with L1X and we, are in communication with them and we're building together, we are not team members of L1X. And there are a lot of moving parts on L1X alone that we can give input on, but at the end of the day, it's not something that the L1DEX team, or even EMP for that matter, has any control over whatsoever. So, again, I just want to make that perfectly clear. Everybody from L1X has been amazing. We love them, but they have their own, agenda and what they feel is the best rollout plan that may or may not coincide with what we think. And again, that's totally fine. It's not FUD worthy. It's not a security issue. I know that there was some talk that they were not going to release the Chrome extension, because of some potential security risks. I think that got blown out of proportion a little bit, because I know for a fact L1X would not launch anything that would have vulnerabilities. I think it was just an overall statement on why there has been some delays, and the different pieces that go into that. Again, Cody or Cryptonaut, he's been the architect, not only behind Fusion, but after that he took a position with L1X as their lead UX designer. He has a fancy title. I probably just butchered it, but anyway, he was building the wallet out, and his vision is pretty amazing. And just like we're dealing with fusion right now, the vision and the code have to come together, and sometimes that takes a lot more than what everybody sees on the surface. And again, it's about coming up with a compromise that is fast, but still the best end result that can be possible. So again, all of that is my personal opinion. It's not the views and opinion of L1DEX or our community as a whole. We just try to give as much background as we can into the whole process. But that being said, we do have a lot of updates to share. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm also going to try to share my screen as well. LA, before I jump right in, do you want to elaborate on any of that at all before we start getting into the actual bullet points?
I do, yeah. I just want to say, if you noticed that we didn't make a pinned announcement today, the reason for that is because we don't want to announce anything until we have some specific details. And as AJ said, we aren't part of the L1X team, and so although we've been working hand in hand with them, we aren't part of the team. And so it's important for us to double and triple check on specific details before we make official statements and announcements. Because when we say things, people take them to a fine point pen. Like they take our words exactly as we say them. So we have to make sure we say them exactly as we mean them.
For sure.
So we have a meeting coming up with the team tomorrow. We've been working on clarifying and double, triple checking on a few details in the meantime, but we are going to have a lot of things that we go over with them tomorrow. And between now and tomorrow, we're going to be relaying a lot more information with you, but we're going to give you some details today. And in the next 2 days or so, we're going to share more with you after our meeting as well.
Yeah, absolutely, LA. And again, I think the number one thing to take away from that is that we would much rather over communicate in the background and only make one announcement than giving out multiple announcements with conflicting information. So again, we have an entire team that's building the decks and working every day with all the stuff that we have going on, and L1X has an entire blockchain they're trying to launch, and or is launched, all the apps, all the wallets, all the claiming. I mean, we're two very busy individual teams, and although we do our best to communicate, making it all together on one page to then present to the community, it's just a lot. I mean, again, with anything in business in general, communication is tough. And I think in crypto it's even compounded because we move at such a fast pace. All of you are on crypto time. We expect immediate results and immediate answers, which again, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be that way, but in the real world, a product launch is years in the making, not just a few months or whatever. So, all right, I think we've covered where we're at. Let me before we get into the actual bullet points, let me just go over the blog post that was released by L1X today, and then we'll follow up on the individual things. So, hang on one second here. All right, so hopefully you all can see this okay. Again, this is a great blog post that just does a breakdown of how to claim your L1X tokens. Remember, even before I get into this, I guess, I want to have a disclaimer. Nobody is having an unfair advantage with any of this. And what I mean by that is, I know all of us are really eager and really excited to claim our tokens, our coins in this case. Again, anything on an actual blockchain is considered a coin. I'm so used to saying token. But anyway, the coins, I know we all want to claim them. We all want them in our wallet. We want to make sure all the prices are right, that we're getting credit for everything we did. I get that wholeheartedly. But you have to understand that nobody is getting an unfair advantage by claiming early or later. The only thing that you're getting is, I guess, more time to play with the wallet. And I know a lot of you that were early contributors of a higher money level, $1,000 or more, were given access early, or were promised access earlier. We'll have more info on that again after our meeting tomorrow. I'm sure we can get all of you that contributed, that 1,000 or more, ahead of the line a little bit. But right now, as of today, it's only seed round investors as well. So we'll get into all that. But again, I just want to preface it by, everybody just sit back and observe, and you're not missing out, on staking early or anything like that, by not having your tokens, or coins rather. And so just we're gonna go through it all together. So all right, this is the step-by-step guide. There's a great video if anybody wants to watch that video. It breaks it down as well, but everything in the blog post that we're gonna go over right now does too. So again, before we begin, make sure you have your L1X wallet downloaded. If you haven't created your L1X account, click here to get started, and create your own wallet address. So again, even if you use MetaMask to create or contribute rather to any of our public sales or pre-sales with L1X directly, you still need to, before anything else, create your L1X account and your respective L1X wallet. Key, public key. Again, never give away your private keys. It's your public key just like you would have on MetaMask. So once you have that, that is what you need before any of this. So if you don't know how to do that, start there. Again, there's plenty of articles and info on how to do that. But so once that's done, then we can go to the claiming schedule. Again, this is where some of the confusion was. Right now is the private sale. Wallet holders, again, this is mainly the seed round. So, again, the wording might be a little bit confusing, and especially with the different breakdowns. But to my knowledge, this is not including the private sale, or I'm sorry, the public sale or the pre-sale that we originally held through EMP. So all of that, again, what we're being told is that everybody will be able to claim those on by the 30th. So again, we're gonna have more clarification on that tomorrow, and we can only go by what L1DEX submits us. So even though technically you're claiming through L1DEX, we're not able to just create this info out of thin air. It has to be submitted to us, and again, available through the wallet, because we would never, want to be in a situation where we're not taking actual data off the chain. So that's another reason why, we have to cross all of our T's and dot all of our I's. So there's not any additional minting. It's all done through, again, actual smart contracts. So they are also releasing them in batches. So, again, even if you're in like a particular claim date, it might not be available to you, within those first few days, because your wallet is not, in that first few batches. So just again, you know, it's a rollout, and will only happen over the days that are given. So, all right, LA, anything else you want to add to that before we get into actual step-by-step process?
No, I think you hit it pretty well there in that regard.
Okay, awesome. All right, so how to actually get them then? So, again, you guys are more than welcome to try. On the 10th.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do want to say one
yeah.
thing.
Please
Sorry.
go ahead. Absolutely.
So it's really important for these, because a bunch of you are asking for the links and stuff. We could give the link, but then 5 minutes later, someone else is going to ask for it again. So please join the L1X Discord and visit their announcement sections. The links for both of these articles are there. And it's a lot easier for us to send you there because it's like permanently there instead of us posting the link every time someone individually asks. So please make sure that you've joined both the L1DEX and L1X Discords. And the links to these articles that AJ is going over are in the L1X Discord on their announcement tab.
Yes, perfect, LA. And again, if for whatever reason, you know, you don't have Discord or you're not going to do that, all of this info is on the official L1X blog. So blog.l1x.foundation. So again, and that can be accessed through any website. But like LA said, I mean, Discord really is your best bet because if you do have a problem, you're going to need to open a ticket on Discord anyway to make sure that you get it. And you know, all the admins, again, some of the admins are crossovers. Shout out to Stinky Beans. He's been killing it for both L1X and us. But a lot of the admins are even more knowledgeable than we might be because they're, you know, dealing with this on a daily basis. And again, they're part of L1X and we're not. So we're only implementing what we're given from the L1X team. So, all right, and this is just a really easy step-by-step process. So, like what I was saying, is that you know, feel free to try on the 10th. Maybe you are in the earlier batch, or the 20th or the 30th. Again, I would say definitely try. There's no harm in seeing if your wallet ends up populating. And again, after we have our additional team meeting tomorrow, we can probably give some more clarity on Thursday. But my assumption is that if you contributed more than $1,000 to any of the sales through us, that you'll be moved up that priority list because you know we were giving early access to the wallet for those contributors. And you know that doesn't mean, again, I just want to clarify, that doesn't mean you're getting any sort of benefit monetarily or you're able to stake your tokens early. It's simply just allowing you to play with the wallet early. So I just don't want any FUD around that. I get that's why people are anxious because they think they need their tokens now to start earning. But we're still in, you know, beta. And you know, you can't sell your tokens. You can't you know, stake them. So right now it's just letting everybody actually get their tokens is what the number one priority is at the moment. So, all right, you would click that link that's there. I'm not going to click it. Well, I guess I can. So click the link. It'll open up the, again, the L1DEX claim app. Again, it is through us, but all this information is, you know, provided by L1X, you know, through smart contracts. You would connect through MetaMask. You'll click this. It'll pop up a window. I'm not signed in right now, but you'll what's called sign the transaction, and that proves that you're the owner of that wallet address, and that is how you'll be credited your token. So let me go back. Hang on. All right, so you will again open the MetaMask or Rabby or um, select whatever wallet you use to contribute to L1X. That's what you want to connect with. Again, it'll ask you to connect, just like you would to any website. And then once you're connected, like I was showing you, it'll ask connect MetaMask and then have that link. You click that link. And then it'll say connect to claim and approve your account. Again, this is a way that you're able to actually prove that you're the owner of that wallet. And then you'll have a coin allocation window pop up. Now, if you haven't been credited your tokens yet, or coins rather, or you know, for whatever reason that address isn't recognized, it'll give you a yellow error. But if it does recognize it, then this will pop up. It'll say linked MetaMask address. You want to confirm that all of that is the case. that, you know, what you contributed matches the allocation at whatever rate it was that you got in the total allocation. If you have a problem, you hit dispute and it'll open up a tab, which I'll show in a minute. But if everything looks good to you, you hit claim. And then once you hit claim coins, again, you agree that all the data, you know, is correct. It'll ask you to verify that again. And then you'll be prompted to enter your L1X wallet address. So again, like I said at the very, very beginning of all this, you need to make sure that you have your own L1X wallet first. Again, just like you would create a wallet in MetaMask for the very first time, that is what you need to do with L1X. There was a link at the very top. Again, I'll scroll back up. Hang on. So do this right here if you have not. That's the prerequisite. Again, click that link and it'll tell you everything you need to know. And then you'll submit that that wallet address. Again, you know, that make sure it's double check everything. But submit that wallet address for the L1X wallet. Yep, right here, link your wallet. See, so your L1X wallet, your copy and paste that right there, and then you'll hit claim. And then it'll give you credit on L1X for your L1X coin. So again, I think it's pretty straightforward. The process has been as seamless as I could have imagined. I know that it can be a little overwhelming. And if you do have problems, feel free to open a ticket in Discord. All of their admins will be working night and day to help all of you. But I do know, you know, a few people have already been able to do this. It's just going to be, you know, all the early seed investors are very, very first. And then again, over the next few days and weeks, it will be all of the private sale or the public sale that we did through EMP. So, all right, I think that covers most of it. I have some bullet points I want to go through, but LA, anything before I move to the bullet points that we need to clarify?
Nope.
All right, awesome. Let me pull it up. Hang on, bear with me. All right, so I think again, I hope that helped. I'm happy to do another walkthrough on Thursday as well. And again, I'm sure there'll be other videos releasing from L1X themselves to help clarify too. But just to recap, again, there'll be some double information here, but I want to make sure I go through all of our notes. You know, everything is officially live. Again, you can get the wallet through the Chrome store. That was that link, the prerequisite link. It'll tell you how to do it. It'll tell you where to go. The coins are being released through the release schedule. Again, you know, the earliest investors are the ones that are getting access earlier, and then it'll just go in first come, first served order based on, you know, everybody getting involved. If you got into the L1X sales through EMP, the pre-sale, again, you will not be able to claim at this point. You know, we've been given, you know, that definitely by the end of the month, if you contributed more than $1,000, we're championing to get you all early access like we promised. So maybe, you know, a little bit more towards the middle of the month. But right now it's all, you know, again, the seed round, all the early investors, all the wire funds that L1X took in directly, they're all getting their tokens first because they were the ones to contribute first. It's a first come, first served order. But again, that doesn't mean that anybody's missing out or getting an unfair advantage. So, all right. Yep, no rush to download. Again, you could just wait, you know, until the end of the month and download. There is no rush at all. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do with the tokens anyway. or again, I keep calling them tokens, coins, because they're nothing is tradable yet and nothing is stakeable yet. So you're not missing out. You just be able to get familiar with the wallet a little bit earlier. On our side, development is killing it. I mean, we're well underway. Everything on the deck side is pretty much done. We're just having to integrate it and make it compatible with the L1X tech. So, that could be really fast and that could take, a little bit longer as well. We're literally the first project building on L1X, so obviously there's going to be some, bugs and hurdles and, SDKs that we have to work through. But again, we're moving as fast as we can, and a lot of the work has already been done. We're just trying to get all the puzzle pieces together. So, all right. We have a very special Twitter space coming. Ella, you want to go about, give a little more info on that, and maybe some other marketing things?
Yes. Yeah, so we have a Twitter space coming up on October 8th, which is on Sunday. And that one will be with yours truly, Mr. AJ. And we'll be going over some of the updates and news and advancements with the DEX and getting everyone all hyped up for the upcoming launch. It will go hand in hand with something else that we're about to launch, which is our Zeely campaign that is launching this week, most likely in the next 24 hours. So keep an eye out for that and our official announcement on that. That's going to help drive a lot of eyeballs to the DEX. And you're going to be able to earn by following our quests and engaging with all of our social media accounts and our groups, and by sharing it with your friends. So you'll be able to earn L1X for participating. So you'll definitely want to get involved in that. And that way, when you're able to download your wallet and everything, you'll be able to earn some extra L1X from our campaign. So we're excited about that, and we'll be giving all the details shortly. And as we get closer and closer to the launch, we're really going to be ramping up our marketing to get everyone excited and to get as much attention on L1DEX as possible.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely, LA. The Zeely campaign will be really powerful. I know, we already announced a massive airdrop initiative. I think we, had said about 100 grand in L1X tokens. So the first round of that again will be rewarding those that participate in Zeely. We'll have another probably airdrop round of those that are actually using the DEX as well. So the bottom line is, if you want to be rewarded, not only do we need you to help engage, with all of these campaigns, but we also need your help in promoting, and spreading the word, getting our all of our social media numbers up. That's how we all win. And again, a lot of you will be rewarded for that engagement. So just keep an eye out. We'll have more info on that. The first Zeely campaign, again, like LA said, should be out this week, if not within the next 24 hours. And then that will be just one of many opportunities to earn L1X on behalf of L1DEX. So, and yeah, we'll again, much more to come once the DEX is actually functioning and we can reward users for doing other, things within the ecosystem. But yeah, I'm super bullish on that. Again, to get our numbers up and to really get the word out. I know, even on the L1X side, they've had some great growth. I know Machu and Mike and a lot of the core team were just at a big conference in Singapore, made a lot of great contacts over there. So it's continuing to grow and build. And again, I know that we all want it here yesterday, but we just have to keep rolling with the punches and getting everything rolled out in a very methodical way. And it'll be here eventually. And once it's here, again, I think actions speak louder than words. And once people see the DEX fully functional and able to truly have interoperable cross-chain swaps without a bridge. I mean, that's all the advertising we're gonna need in terms of how powerful the product is. And we've also seen in some of the socials, like other people posting, other protocols that are claiming interoperability or cross-chain swaps. And you have to remember, a lot of that's the hot topic right now. Everybody says the buzzwords because they know that's what's happening, but under the hood, all of it is still just a glorified bridge. Even some of the more powerful, bridging solutions that are out there right now, none of them are using their own virtual machine. And again, that's what makes L1X very different. It's its own virtual machine, which again is the software that is running it. Just like Ethereum has its own virtual machine. Solana, is built upon Rust, and it runs on its own, code base. L1X has its own code base, and this is again, I won't go too much into it because it gets very, very technical. There's a great AMA that Mashu did, and even Kevin in a recent. If you follow the L1X YouTube, Kevin himself did a run through on how L1X is able to achieve this technology. And it has to do again not only with their own virtual machine, but the different nodes, the event listener nodes, the hierarchical. I can't even say it. The temporal hierarchical memory. Again, there's a lot of crazy things that happen to make sure everything validates and that all the different processes are done not only interoperably but also trustlessly and again through actual code where it's not just a glorified smart contract pretending to do something that it's not. So definitely again, and that's another reason to join the either the blog at the L1X Foundation or the Discord because all those videos are over there and they're very, very powerful. So, all right, I think that really clarifies everything. Again, I saw somebody post about not being able to get on Discord. Yeah, I totally understand. We will, again, LA, I think you responded, but once we have the definite info and we don't have conflicting info, we'll send out an email, right, LA? I'm sure we can do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We always email out the bigger important announcements, so we'll definitely be doing that. But like I said, we're holding off until we have that meeting because we want to make sure we have 100% of the info so that we can send it all out in one big announcement, both on Telegram, Discord, email, all the things. So we'll definitely be emailing that out for sure.
Okay, awesome. All right, I think that's everything with L1DEX and L1X. Anything you want to add or any questions before we move on to Sparkswap? And then again, at the very end, we'll take questions. I forgot to mention at the beginning too, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, that really helps us get the word out. So go ahead, Ellie.
No, I think we're ready to wrap up that section. I think we really hit it hard, and hopefully you guys have some more clarity now. And by the end of Thursdays, you'll have all the info, and we'll definitely go through some of these things again and share with you the details from our meeting as well.
Yep, 100%. All right, awesome. So now last topic is Sparkswap. Again, and two, we didn't really talk anything about EMP. Obviously, just to recap really quick, we're still trying to get there. The bridge is the #1 priority. Again, that benefits everybody, not only Spark but also EMP. So the bridge is really our main focus. But I can 100% guarantee and promise all of you that once that's finished, all of the efforts go back to EMP and then some. And I think I mentioned it in some other AMAs, but I can officially say it now. The plan is to actually double our dev team. So we will have a whole separate dev team working on Spark and a whole separate dev team, the original dev team that was building Fusion on Fusion. So this should really help speed up the process. And then our lead dev, again, those of you that know him and love him, the GOAT, Jake, our Jake, I call him Chad Dev now. That's what all of his screen name is anyway. But there's too many Jakes, so Chad, he's been killing it, and he'll move into more an overall seeing role, where he can kind of be our, the guy that pulls all the strings, make sure everything is up to speed, basically internal audits, through him to make sure there's no issues. And this should really, really ramp up our development time. So that's exciting moving into, October, as well. So, and we'll talk more about that, after the bridge for sure. But, the bridge is well underway. We'll talk about that in a second here. Um, but first, we hit some really awesome milestones this week. Again, we've seen a bit of a pullback now, just because of the overall market, but we were at 9 million TVL, which was incredible. So remember that TVL stands for total value locked, and that is the combined value of all the assets in the platform. So not only all the pools and farms, but also the supply of Spark. So if we see Spark go down in price, it'll reduce the TVL, and it may look a little bit more dramatic than it actually is, because it doesn't necessarily mean that there's people exiting. It just means that the price of Spark is down and therefore the TVL is down. But on the flip side, you know, when we see Pulse skyrocket and Spark follows thereafter because of the LP, we could even double our TVL, just from price appreciation, of Pulse alone. And again, TVL is a great metric, but I've said it many times. TVL can still be very misleading. To me, the healthiest metric of a protocol is the liquidity, and our liquidity is still massive. So, especially in terms of our market cap, I think, I haven't looked at it today with the recent pullback, but I know the entire week last week, our liquidity was over our market cap, which is just super bullish. So,
It still is.
yeah, even with the dip, LA. All right, there you go. So, yeah, we're
I was
busy.
gonna say
Yeah,
we're
go ahead, LA.
5 weeks in. We're 5 weeks in, and our liquidity and market cap are still neck and neck. Liquidity is over market cap. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, no doubt. That is so bullish. And again, we're busy building all day, so I don't really look at the price in the chart that much. Uh, Um, so forgive me for not being on top of that. But yeah, like LA said, that is the most bullish thing out of all. So, and I think we continue to see TVL going up because again, it's more spark being locked up in the sparkler. More spark being burned every day, as well. We have a ton of utility and use case. Battlebets has been continuing to kill it. Um, we're getting all the burned Spark transferred to our treasury first, just so that we again can do it all at once and have a bigger impact. But at least once a week we'll be doing a massive burn of all the Spark that we collect. Uh, uh, and then some. So keep an eye on that. You can see on the homepage there's a special section that says burned. That number will always be going up. So the more we burn, the better it is. So all right. Again, just more healthy sideways motion. We've been in this channel. When we do see a dip like today, it's been getting eaten. That's bullish. And remember, the more the lower the price of Spark, there is some mechanisms in the protocol that help the protocol protect itself. So it does suck to see the price go down, but you have to remember it's a lot less selling pressure in terms of dollar value when Spark goes down in terms of dollar. So that's just another reason that you could use dips to DCA and continue to feed your sparkler position as well. So even over the last few weeks, sparkler has still been averaging a massive 1% daily. Again, I know there may be some days that it's much lower, than 1%, but some days that it's much higher than 1%. So because we're calculating all the yield from Sparkler in real yield, it's something that you have to take into account over multiple days. But it's still been incredibly powerful, and that's all pre-bridge as well. So the bridge, I think, is gonna just pour gasoline on the fire, in terms of yield for sure. So, all right, LA, you want to talk a little bit about some AMAs we have coming up?
Yes, for sure. In regards to Sparkswap, one thing that we're doing tomorrow is we're going to be showing up for Shill Tank. I don't know if you guys all know about Shill Tank, but it's something that happens every Tuesday on Twitter. It's put on by some really big pulse chain influencers, and there's hundreds of people in attendance every week. And if you're lucky, you get a chance to get called up and give a pitch for a few minutes. We've been having our community members shout us out to them for weeks now and setting the stage. So we are very positive and hopeful that now when we show up, we're going to get a chance to speak. We also have some help with that for tomorrow. So we're going to show up for that. That's at 12:30. And then we also have a Twitter space coming up with Coach X tomorrow as well. And then on Wednesday, we have an AMA coming up with someone that all of you have been asking for quite a long time. I'm going to announce that probably on Tuesday night. So you'll definitely want to be around for that one. It's happening on Wednesday. When is that? At 4:00 Eastern. So you'll definitely want to be around for that one as well, which is really exciting. And then on Sunday, as I mentioned, we have our L1DEX Twitter space. So that one's going to be really great as well.
Nice. So yeah, we have a big week ahead on all fronts. L1DEX, again, Sparkswap, and all other parts of our ecosystem. So yeah, and again, I messed up last week. I thought this person that LA scheduled was coming over next weekend, but yeah, it's gonna be Wednesday. So Wednesday is the day. It'll be a name that all of you will recognize for sure. And that LA, that will be happening in our Telegram, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I'll do my best to live stream that as well to YouTube. But again, make sure that you're in our Telegram as well. But all right, awesome. That's exciting. A lot of great stuff coming. Again, Shill Tank could be amazing tomorrow. No guarantees, but we're hoping to get on. And I mean, what, LA? Last week, I think there was like, what, 5,000 people on that Twitter space? It was insane. So, yeah.
There's so many people on there. There's anywhere from a few hundred to a few thousand every week. So, and then the recording gets listened to by thousands of people. So it's definitely great exposure for the project.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's one that we've been working on for a while. And again, if we don't get called tomorrow, we'll try again next week, but that should be really cool. So, all right. Again, just another week ahead. We talked about the all the AMAs coming. Even every time that we look on, YouTube or other, Pulse centric, telegrams, people are still talking about Spark. And that's really bullish. I mean, even with some other protocols launching and pre-sales, I mean, DeFi is pretty much a ghost town as it is, but there are still some projects on, Pulse and BSC and Base and, that are trying to make a go of it. But again, everybody always says, yeah, check out this new project, but remember, Spark is still printing as well, so that's really bullish. Again, just that we're keeping that longevity, even after a month of operation. We build protocols, for the long run, not just a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So that's really exciting. All right. I think again, news is just starting to spread. We're continuing to build. The bridge is again I get in trouble from LA anytime I even remotely hint to dates, so I will refrain from that. But we had another really bullish dev meeting today, and uh, I don't know, like, what am I allowed to say? Uh, we're we're in the final countdown. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Let's just leave it at that, because
All right, I love it. There you go. So that'll leave some a cliffhanger for all of you guys. So, but yeah, and remember, it will be a stealth launch. We're not gonna announce a date and time. You'll just have to check on uh the website, and then once we are live, we'll definitely confirm that it's working. But yeah, it's gonna be hopefully a really good week. So, all right,
I
go
do
ahead,
want to
Ellie.
say one thing on that
Mhm.
front, because there was a little chatter in the group earlier. Um, Zero of this is teasing. Like, zero of this is teasing.
For sure.
Anything that we mention is just us relaying, like, whatever we can about the progress that's going on behind the scenes. And the minute that it is ready to launch, it will be launched. There is zero teasing going on. That is the last thing that we want. We want to get it out there safely and successfully. That is our desire.
Yeah, great points, LA. Even back relating to EMP and fusion, there is this delicate balance, and sometimes the haters are louder than the supporters, which sucks. But the whole point is that we have to be able to communicate. Again, we've admitted over and over that maybe we started, going over fusion a bit too early. But that being said, we can't just show up and launch a project within a couple of weeks, like especially a project that's built from the ground up. And the same thing applies to the bridge. Like we have to tell everybody what's coming. We have to be, communicative. We have to give everybody the roadmap. And that's just the nature of the beast. We can't, not say anything and then say, "Oh, surprise! It's here tomorrow." And then people are like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't even prepare for this. And then, you're behind the eight ball. So it is a delicate balance. We're damned if we do and damned if we don't. But just understand, like Ella said, nothing is done on purpose, or is a tease, or is a giving away false information. We're simply relaying the information to all of you in real time. And you know, if you've ever been part of a business, even with or within crypto, it's not smooth sailing, like we all hope it will be. And again, that I think that really is real. We're EMP is keeping it real, because we keep it as real as we can with all of you. And if that means it's delays. Even though we have yet to announce a date, people still think it's delayed, which I get. I mean, at this point, we were hoping to be out for sure. But remember, until we give a date, we're not technically, delayed. But yeah, LA,
You know what
anything
I
you want to
thought
add to
of?
that? Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I thought of earlier, though? We haven't kept people waiting as nearly as long as Richard Hart. Everyone still loves him, so I think we're doing well.
That's true. Yeah, what we had about a 2 year head start on Richard. So if you can get behind him, you can get behind us. And yeah, we love you, Richard. Again, it's here. Pulse is here. Pulse is working. I think that we're all primed for the ready, and there's a lot of awesome development happening on Pulse now. Liquid Loans just announced they're in the final stages. I think that will be super powerful, to be able to, take out loans against your pulse. And so, yeah, I think we're primed for the ready. We have a lot of other, utilities coming, for Spark as well. So, again, the more that we build, the more that the community gets behind us. Once the bridge is actually live, there'll be a ton of volume. I mean, we did about $200,000 of volume in the last 24 hours, 2 days in a row. And just imagine the volume we're going to see when we open up the bridge, right to our doorstep. So anybody coming over from BSC, I can't tell you how many messages we get daily of people saying, what's the best bridge to use? How do I bridge to Pulse? And when we're finally able to give them our bridge and not refer business to other people, I mean that's going to be massive. And not only will it be a better solution, but it'll be cheaper and faster and safer than literally every other bridge out there. And that is a great product market fit for us. So once the bridge is open, again, everybody should be using it. And I think it's going to open up a lot of opportunities and be just a massive cash flow to Sparkler. So, again, we're almost there. So, all right, LA, anything you want to add to that before we get into some Q&A or wrap it up? I know we're already about an hour, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to share one more thing EMP related. We finished yet another one of our fusion videos today. It turned out really well, and she's finally moving on to the last video as of today. So it's taking a little bit longer than I wanted to. I've been having to send it back for like 4 or 5 rounds of revisions for each one. I think there's a bit of a language barrier, so some of the text on the screens end up a little funky and stuff like that. But they're turning out really, really well, the finished products. So I'm very excited about that. We're finally moving on to the final one, so it shouldn't be too long before the series on that gets released.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, I'm muted. All right. Yeah, awesome, LA. I know, again, that should help simplify Fusion a little more. And then, again, once we get past the bridge, we'll be updating the white paper. We can be, simultaneously uh, getting Fusion ready for launch and implementing a ton of bullish updates to Sparkswap. Again, moving to our own LP, becoming an actual DEX and then moving away from inflation as soon as possible. So yeah, all of that is super, super bullish for uh, the rest of the year for sure. And
For sure.
yeah, on top of all that too, I teased it a little bit on the last AMA. I'm not ready to fully go again, but we'll leave you a little bit of alpha. After the bridge, very shortly after the bridge, almost sort of simultaneously in terms of our marketing as well. We'll even have one more opportunity that I think is really exciting. That again, I don't want to drop too much alpha, but it's a great little initiative that we're putting on before all of this kicks off. Again, the revenue from L1X, the revenue from Spark, launching Fusion and everything going into that, that will really just help us bolster the entire ecosystem at what we feel is the bottom of a bear, that will just enhance our cash flow moving into next year as well. So we'll have more info on that. Again, keep an ear open, but it'll be shortly after the bridge, and then that will be it. I mean, we're launching some very key things over the next few weeks, and then once all of those are launched, it's about growth. And, that's the really cool part, is that now we have all of the infrastructure in place. We have all the puzzle pieces finally done. And now we can sit back and admire, our masterpiece. So, it's all coming. I can promise you that. But all right, LA, any
Yeah.
Q&A or anything at the end? Go ahead. Yep.
Yes, there are a few questions in the Discord. Mostly fusion related actually today. So, Detonator V3 sliding tax starts above 2.7 claims a week. What about the individuals that claim daily a certain percentage, not 100% each day? For example, 2.7 strategy per week claim is equal to 28.571 daily burst claimed daily. Please don't penalize the person that claims 7 days a week at 28% daily. Will this be considered, please?
Yes, sorry, good lord, the mute button is not cooperating with me today. So, yeah, I mean, we we have always encouraged profit taking within the ecosystem. That's why, it blows my mind that, again, the original EMP still gets a lot of hate that, we were self-shaming, or, we were saying not to take profit, and we never preached not taking profit. We always preach how to take profit responsibly, and that is a very, very big difference. So, if you're claiming from the DOS products, once or twice a week, that that is not a negative thing, especially if you're using those profits to, diversify back into the platform, or DCA and other areas. I mean, that's all part of the game. So, we're not going to be penalizing people for doing that. The sliding scale will happen on anybody claiming more than twice a week. So again, we haven't published the exact percentages and ratios, but we will. I mean, once we're sacrifice is first and foremost. Where we get Peg starting to recover, we get everything moving in the right direction, and then we worry about once we're recovered Peg, we worry about how to apply detonator and DOS v3s changes, and then re-implement them into the ecosystem. But remember, the fundamental change is ready on day one, and that's that you can't just claim your LP and dump it directly on the market. You have to claim it through Fusion, and that alone, I think, will curb a lot of the bleeding as well. So, yeah, does that answer, LA? I don't know. That was kind of a long question. I don't know if I answered all of it.
The question was more geared towards not if it will penalize you if you're claiming more than twice a week, but if it will penalize you if you're claiming every day, but only a small chunk a day that adds up overall to twice a week, to the same percentage as twice a week. You know
Yes,
how a lot
okay,
of
I
people.
understand now. Yeah, so and that was part of the original strategy. If you claim like a few hours in, and then let your balance build up overall, and then, compound the rest, it's essentially the same, percentage-wise of a healthy claim. So, yeah, the short answer on that is probably no, because the way that smart contract uh, that will be written or updated is based on, a daily amount. It's just easier to do the math that way. So again, I think that, the short answer is yes, it will penalize you to do it, every day, because it's calculated on daily uh, ratios rather than the amount at which you're claiming ratio. So, yeah, does that help, LA? I think that answers it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. This next question kind of implies that there's a challenge or problem as to why Fusion is taking longer than we originally anticipated, which I don't necessarily think is the case. But what's the biggest challenge the developer has faced when writing up Fusion from scratch? Is it a coding issue, a security issue? Is it a resource time issue, knowledge issue? I can't say the word issue, sorry.
Yeah, no, I
uh,
love this question. Yeah, is that it? Keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, that's it.
All right, yeah. So, one more thing, really quick, on that last question. I just want to clarify one more thing. It won't be dependent on days of the week either. So, again, I don't want people to think like they have to be in front of their computer to only claim, in a certain window. Like you only have to claim on Mondays and Tuesdays or whatever. So it will be a 1 or 2 day claim, and those 1 or 2 days can happen any day during the week, but there will be like a reset basically on Fridays or whatever day it is that we choose. And if you're claiming more than those days, that's when you start getting penalized. But yeah, we'll elaborate more on that. But more importantly, I love the second question. So yeah, again, maybe Go bit by bit one more time, LA. You don't have to say issue. But I think it's good that every single one of those topics are good to elaborate on. So what was the first one?
Yeah, so basically they're wondering why fusion has taken as long as it has and what has been the main challenge, whether it's coding, security, resources, time, knowledge, what has been the reason that it's
Yep,
taken
for
so long.
sure. So yeah, I was gonna go one by one and break it down, but it may be a little bit. We'd be here for 4 hours. So yeah, I would say one thing I can say, it's not a knowledge issue. We have again, our dev, our lead dev, and the devs that are working on it are literally the brightest in the business. All the devs that we bring on go through a massive vetting process, and so it's not a trust or a knowledge issue. I think if I had to boil it down just for time sake, so we're not on a whole nother hour AMA, I think that the scope of fusion was much larger than we had anticipated. And what that means is that we are literally building an entirely new ecosystem from the ground up that has never been done before, based on ideas and concepts that have never been implemented. And when you have all of those things together, it's a lot of work. It's a shit ton of work. Again, software development is hard, and the more complex that is, the harder it is. That's why, the devs at Facebook and Apple, and they're making 200 grand a year, and they have a whole freaking army of them. Now, Fusion is not on Facebook or Apple level, even though we like to think highly of it. But my point is that the scope just became way larger than what we had originally anticipated. And that doesn't mean that we're not capable of delivering. If anything, while you're building it out too, that was another thing. We notice when we're testing things, we notice different parts of the concept that needed improvement or could be done better in different other ways. And that's just that's just the coding process. You know, it's just how it happens. I mean, you have to work through trial and error. You have to make sure it works. If the logic doesn't work, you have to come up with a way to make it work and do it in a way that is, not exploitable. That's another major issue, especially with the bridge. We got to make sure that these protocols are absolutely bulletproof. And if that means that we have to measure, 1,000 times and cut once, that's what we do. Again, the analogy for any builders out there, you measure twice and cut once, but we measure 1,000 times because when we finally release it, one error or one exploit, vector, and it could literally ruin, everything that we built over the last 2 years. So we have to make sure that we do our due diligence, that we are prepared for all that we have, all the stop gaps in place as well, all the insurance policies, so to speak, in terms of the code. And again, I mean, even if you had a whole team of people working on this, which we have, it's months of work. And so, yeah, again, I love this question because I think it puts it into perspective a little bit more. And again, I wish that we could literally do an AMA where, I am on here showing you the code line by line, but a lot of Fusion is proprietary, and until we're launched, a lot of that code we're not ready to share. But the point is that it is being done, it's being built. There's many contracts that are interacting with each other. Even a lot of the contracts we've already built, to make them cross-compatible is a process. So, again, I could go on for literally an hour of what hurdles we've had, and there's been a lot of them, but I'm very confident that we can bring it home. And again, we're 90% of the way there. All we do is wire everything up, go through some final testing, make sure, that nothing is breaking, and then we'll be ready for sacrifice with Fusion. And another reason that we were quote unquote delayed really wasn't about the code either. It was about making sure we had the infrastructure and the revenue streams ready to support um, Fusion as well. So, and again, we'll have major announcements on that in the next few weeks as well. So, all right, I know it was a lot. LA, you want to add to that, please? Or I think we covered it pretty well, but I know you share the same frustrations that the community does in getting it ready.
Yeah, for sure. Um, if you saw how many moving pieces and parts there are behind Fusion, and once you do, I think you'll fully understand why it's taken as long as it has. And I love this comment from James in YouTube. And every time I see a comment from someone else who's worked behind the scenes, it's very similar. But he says, love the clarity and transparency here. I have a job in Web3 building a metaverse, among other things, and stuff always takes so much longer than expected if you really want to get it right. And that last part is the key part if you really want to get it right. And we always want to truly nail it.
I love it.
That is what sets us so far apart from everyone and everything else that's out there. We have conversations on the phone all the time, AJ and I. We had one today where we say, like, we are truly a different breed. Like, nobody else does it like us. Like, nobody else puts into consideration the things that we do. Nobody else puts the hours and the time and the passion that we do. And it's because we truly care so much about getting it right. Because all of you are in the forefront of our minds. Like, obviously, we want to win too, but we want all of us to win. And we know that if that's going to be the case, we have to get it right. And most of the time in life, you truly only have one chance to get it right. And I know that they say, like, give second, third chances, but most of the time, your mind is made up after the first one.
I love it.
You truly most of the time have one chance to get it right, and people's minds are made up about you. And so we have the reputation we do because we care so much about really nailing it on the first go around, and we really want everyone to be safe and happy, and that's what we're aiming for here.
Yeah, no doubt. That was complete fire, LA. And again, you have such a great way of simplifying our feelings into words. And it's true. The absolute perfect analogy there is that we really want to get it right. And like LA said, we're not saying we function differently than other protocols to pat ourselves on the back or toot our own horn. We're saying that to demonstrate that we do care. I mean, I can't tell you, we could have launched a half-assed project 10 times over and never even come close to the success that we have had. And that's just not how we operate. I mean, again, and I think that's what people get the most upset about is like, yeah, we're delayed. Again, everybody says we're delayed, even though we never released the date. But we will delay as long as it takes, to get it 100% right. And again, I know that there is a compromise there. Obviously we can't delay forever, and then, we lose momentum and people leave. Like, I get it. I mean, LA and I have been in the crypto game long enough that we understand, you always have to have a forward moving event. We have to do right by, people that are here. But if you take away anything from what we're trying to explain in terms of development and actually bringing these very complex protocols to life that are not forks of other protocols. They're 100% new and unique code and concepts. We're doing everything we can to make it perfect. And again, that is very hard to achieve with code. And if we can't get it perfect, we're gonna get it as close to perfect as humanly possible. So, and again, number one priority is that even if it isn't perfect, it is absolutely not exploitable and not protocol ending if we have an issue. And that is something that we will not compromise on. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yes. There's one more question here, and it's Sparkswap related. It's basically asking if there's a plan on how you would advise, or if there's a plan on taking profit in Sparkswap other than PLS that we get from Sparkler rewards, since we do not want to sell Spark directly. Example, will it be negative for the protocol to move Spark to BNB Chain and sell it for EMP or other coins on the BNB side? Is it even possible without first a swap on the Pulse side?
Yeah, so again, I mean, we're not here to give financial advice. I think it's a very delicate balance. Again, it's about how you take profit that is most important. And if you only take profit in Pulse and not having to actually sell Spark, that is better for the ecosystem and it's better for your own bags. But yeah, I mean, again, it's crypto. Nobody's here to press the buttons for you. Again, not financial advice, but if I was going to sell any of my Spark, I sure as hell wouldn't be going into, another random shit token or coin. I would be going into other protocols that are under our umbrella or that that indirectly help your bags as well. So, again, in that theoretical question, I would say, the only way to really do that is because we're bridging EMP, we're not bridging Spark, at least not to begin with. So, you would sell your Spark on Pulse side for EMP Pulse or Pulse PMP oh my God, PEMP, so Pulse EMP, and then bridge it back over, for sacrifice, over on Fusion or to earn, in the farm. So yeah, that would be something you could do. But again, remember Spark is valuable as well. So it's a delicate balance because once we finally move away from emissions and inflation of Spark, we could see the price of Spark really perform well as well. So I'm not here to give financial advice. I'd say the most healthy thing for the protocol and you taking profit is the strategy that we've always put out, where you're taking profit on the Pulse side of the Sparkler LP, and then use that Pulse to buy EMP or buy more Spark, or just keep it and go into one of the single staking farms, or again, that's the most healthy. But yeah, I don't know. LA, anything you want to add to that?
I think you kind of covered it. I'm not sure what else I could add to that, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty straightforward. So, we're not here to give financial advice. That might be a good question to have in the community and have other community members weigh in on that. But remember, I mean, right now it's about accumulating, um, when I say that, obviously the haters misconstrue that as that, we want you to hold forever and never sell. That is not the case. Again, I think that, knowing how to utilize the platform the right way and prepare for the future, that is what we really try to educate everybody on.
Absolutely. And on that note, there she wrote.
All right, awesome. Well, that was a good one today. I think we went through a bunch. Again, we try to keep these at about an hour. Today we went a little bit over, but I think there was a lot of great info as usual in this AMA. If we did not get to your question, please feel free to write it in the comments of the recording, or jump on over to our Discord where we have an actual channel where you can ask these sort of questions and guarantee that they are answered in the AMA. So, all right, again, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. before we wrap up. That really helps us get our engagement going. We've been getting some killer metrics on YouTube now, and it will be another really good week ahead. LA, any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we really appreciate all your questions. I see people from at least 3 continents tuning in right now, so that's pretty damn cool. Um, Thanks for tuning in from all over the world. We love all you guys, and we're really excited for everything we're building together. Keyword being together. We truly are one big family around here in the EMP ecosystem, and we look forward to continuing to win together.
I love it. Yes, LA. Could not agree more. We say it a lot, but the number one thing in crypto is community. And no matter what sort of project we build or what avenue we need to pivot down, as long as we have a core community that is ride or die, with all of us, we can accomplish amazing things. So, shout out to the entire EMP community, Spark community, all L1DEX, L1X, everybody that's been ride or die with us for the last 2 years. And again, I think we start seeing a lot of the fruits of our labor coming to ripen and coming to fruition, this next year for sure. So, all right, we'll keep an eye out for the bridge. We'll be back on Thursday for more updates, and join us for all of our AMAs throughout this week. Again, we have a few on Twitter and here in Telegram as well. Make sure you follow all the socials for the most up-to-date info. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you all on Thursday, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Bye-bye.